for my communication analysis, I analyzed my communication with my girlfriend Carrie because we live together, and so we're always getting that face to face communication, and she's probably the person who I communicate with the most. One of the things that I chose to analyze was the conflict that because we don't get in like big arguments, but we do always argue about where we should go eat. So, and I looking over the principles, I think that the conflict can be negative or positive is a really prevalent principle because we sometimes it doesn't always work out in my favor and then she's grumpy with me, or sometimes it works out in both of our favor and we're both okay with it. But for this, the time that I analyzed is she wanted to go to Taco John's and I wanted Arby's, but we ended up going to Taco John's, but I didn't want to go to Taco John's. So it's really cool to see how this principle really shows itself in the in everyday communication. Another thing that I wanted to look at was my style of conflict. And from reading the textbook, The Essentials of Human Communication, I found that I am collaborating. And this is where you address both your own and the other person's needs. That was DeVito. And I think this is a really accurate statement as to how I try to get conflict solved, because I don't like to be the one who's, oh, I'm always right and you're always wrong. But I always like to try and get it to where we can have a happy medium, like where she could go to Taco John's and then I could still get Arby's. And so, but this is especially prevalent when I'm in conflicts with Carrie because she is my girlfriend. So I do always try to make sure that she's happy with me and happy with the situation. Face-to-face communication helps build collaborative environments, and that was said by Baker. This is one of the so I wanted to look at like strengths, how our because we have a pretty strong relationship, and so I wanted to see if communication had a role in having this strong relationship. And I think that with us living together and constantly being in face-to-face communication, I think this is a really strong reason that we have a good relationship, because we can get the more emotion through when we talk. We are more apt to come up with a solution, because when we're face to face, it's the message is getting sent and received right away, and there's no time gap in between. And so I think that this is one of the biggest reasons that we have such a strong relationship. And also with looking in as to why the relationship was strong, I compared it to if we were more of a technology based communication in our relationship. And I found that technology is very asynchronous, and that's when there's a time gap between when a message is sent and when it's received. And that was Alder, Rosenfield, and Proctor. And I think that this is from what I read, that the asynchronous is a problem, because it's like texting is very asynchronous, because you send the text message but you don't get a response right away. there's a gap between when they choose to respond to you. And so I think that this is another reason that the relationship is strong, is because there's no asynchronous communication. It is almost always a synchronous communication. And those are my references.
All right, well, you are at time, so perfect preparation there.